teamwork right there. Is what
that is teamwork.
That is the fattest bad drive I've ever seen. Morning, me and Tim are headed out for a little half-day hunt before the heat kills us. We're running super late, it's almost light already.
We've never ran late, not a single time this year.
Yeah, so maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's not. We'll see.
Well guys, I messed up again. In the middle of all of the massive amounts of footage we have this year, this hunt happened long ago, but I just finally got to editing it. If the coyotes light up like that, especially with barks or really a lot of yipping like that, they basically know something's up, especially if it's right after a distress sound. Maybe vocal's not such a bad sign, but definitely on distress. I can probably count on one hand the time we've called coyotes in after hearing that.
I got it. Shoot, he's leaving, he's leaving.
Going so slow. I finally had the gun moved right here, and then he moved.
Yeah, so this guy, he definitely saw the truck. No doubt about it. It's just the way we were, the first stand went, we were like, we wanted to make a stand pretty close to it since we heard coyotes everywhere. So we kind of parked the truck in an iffy area.
He came from the one direction you can see the truck.
Yeah, he did. He came from the one place you can see the truck, but that's why you gotta hide the truck real good every time.
Well guys, some days it just wasn't meant to happen.
I got it. I got it.
Well, not sure if you guys heard that little click or not, but basically that was the gun not going off. Not sure if you guys shoot ARs or not, but this is one of the first times hunters shot at least this AR anyway. And sometimes that bolt doesn't slam shut all the way, and that's what causes that.
Well, I pulled the trigger at 60 yards, and it didn't shoot. So I went to go rack it again, and it got jammed. That's what happened.
Nice.
Well, after that stand, needless to say, they were both pretty disappointed. Not only that, but the weather was super hot, super sunny, and just wasn't worth hunting. Sometimes it just wasn't meant to be. Well, here's the next day, and we'll give you guys a little bit of action.
Good morning. Today, we are going to go hunt dogs. We got a friend in the back seat with us. It's Mason. So hopefully we get a few. Never been to this spot before. I'm going to do a half day because it's still hot. So, we'll see.
just a pup, though. Well, tell us what happened.
Well, frick, dude. Driving down the road, running in front of us, goes up over the hill, Hunter steps on it, whip around the corner. They're here. Oh, we got one. It was probably working that way down. Working its way down to us.
Oh, there's all the blood.
It does it.
He must have got a blood clot in there or something and stopped it. Alright, we need to make room for this.
One split second.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Always nice when you get a volunteer. I really don't know what the deal is with badgers this year. Normally we get one, maybe two a year. I think this is number 4 for the year. Maybe I should have started a badger count instead of a coyote count. Seems like we've been having better luck with them than anything.
What are you doing? Stand up, stand up.
You know, it's not very often we got to stand up to get a shot at something. It occasionally does happen, and, well, this was one of them. And it turned into a cluster, as it always does. Well, Tim had a little difficulty with the camera this time, trying to run after this thing at the same time.
You got me sitting here thinking.
Well, that was a wild goose chase.
I saw this badger come hauling past the call, and then I turned it back on for like 10 seconds. And I looked at Tim, I was like, give me your shotgun, I'm gonna go after it. Shot it, we got it. That is
Quite the fiasco.
That is the 3rd badger in 2 weeks.
That is, yeah.
Really good
Yeah, I
color
only
on it.
had 2 bullets in my shotgun because I was like, if I put more bullets in it, we won't call anything in. And then, of course, I missed both bullets. And then he domes him right in the head.
Clean shot, good pelt.
Yeah.
He smells though.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a stinker. Not as big as our super badger, but he's a big badger.
Good size.
We get asked all the time, what do you do with the coyotes when you're done with them? What do you do with these things when you're done? Well, almost everything we shoot, we skin, including the badgers. We don't generally get a lot of money out of them, but that's really not the point. I've got a friend right now that has the big badger and another one we've shot, and she makes pouches, purses, clothing, different things like that with them. So even though we don't get a lot of money out of them, we still do use them for stuff. It's kind of a lost art these days, actually using the stuff that you go out and hunt. We do enjoy this a lot, but we also like to try to do something with them. So when she gets done with making the things that she's making, I'll get some pictures and post it up on her Instagram. You know, the last few days have been pretty rough, especially with the warm weather. Even the worst day coyote hunting is better than the best day sitting around watching TV. I'd much rather be out in the outdoors, learning something new about the animals we love, and every once in a while you get to see a big buck like this running alongside the road. Well guys, out here on a cloudy, almost rainy day. Just quit raining a minute ago. We just got back from 3 days of filming and it was terrible. As you can see, the truck is really muddy. So is the jumping jack. And so is the canvas cutter. But that's the beauty of both of those, is they're literally built just for that. I'm going to take that over to the pressure washer today and hose everything off. And I've done it a couple times with that canvas cutter. And it's amazing that you can pressure wash the mud off of those. I wouldn't get real close to it so you don't cut the fabric depending on how high pressure you're using. But yeah, have never even got ever water inside of it. So yeah, pretty cool. Don't forget the promo codes on the canvas cutter, HI15, save yourself 15%. And then also today I got on some of the just normal clothes from King's Camo. I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but they have a basically full line of just standard clothing. So got to do some voiceover here, but King's is promo code HIDDEN. Save yourself 10% on that. So head over to King's Camo. There is links in the description for both of those. So going over the Swagger Bipods, just going to show you guys kind of how we set up with those. and how we use them and the benefits of them versus a standard bipod. And then also going to have Hunter go over a little bit of what it takes to get used to shooting off of that. You know, every time you get new equipment, it takes a little bit of getting used to use something different, especially if you've been doing it for years. You guys have all seen the comments, I'm sure, about Hunter shooting off his barrel on the sticks and everything. We'll see what it took for him to get used to switching to the Swagger and what he likes about it. All right, guys, let's see if I can do this here and make it a decent video for you. So obviously when we set up on a hillside, or we try to as much as possible, where we can kind of get a little bit of elevation and look down and obviously see our downwind side. This is an extreme example. I'll show you guys the terrain here in just a second. Generally setting up on a stand. So I guess to start with, the way this Swagger works is the legs slide into basically the bottom of the stock right here, where it attaches, and then you just pull them out. They're kind of on a spring-loaded system. They're like a bungee cord. So pull it out, slide it into the bottom, both sides, and this is the very, very movable. As you can see, look, I can bend this thing all the way upside down if I want to. But to lock it in place, you push this button right here on the front and slide it in, and then it's locked in place. You still have a ton of range of movement, just not quite as much. This is the way we shoot with it most of the time. It's a rare occasion that we need the movement of being able to pull it out and move it anywhere. And then they're a twist lock. Grab onto the upper one. I always do the upper one first. Unlock it, pull it out, and generally most flat terrain is gonna just require the first leg out. It's not gonna require both legs out. Lock it down, and now you're ready to go. Great part about these is, one, the range of movement. I mean, I can move as far this way as I want, and as far that way as I want, and not have to pick up my bipod. If you need to pick it up, obviously it's easy. If you need to swing around this way, super easy to do. You don't have sticks you have to hang on to. You can keep your shooting form the whole time and move everything around. Then when you come onto it, like if you have a hard coyote from this side and you're on a hillside, all you gotta do is kick this leg out, and there you go, you're ready to go. One of the biggest benefits of these, other than the movement obviously, is how long they are. People ask us which one we run all the time. Run the longer one. The reason being is if you're on a hillside like this, and I'll try and show you guys this, maybe I'll have to move the camera. If you're on a hillside like this, let's see, I'm gonna get it extended out. So Garrett sets up a little bit different than I do, and it's more of a matter of personal preference. It works both ways. But usually what I do, for example, let me move the camera here, I'll show you guys. Okay, let's see if I can do this without the camera on the tripod. So basically, if this is our setup, okay, like I said, this is a very extreme example. It's not perfect, well, mainly because we can't see the bottom right here, but normally we would set up so we can see the bottom and all the way across, because you don't want to get surprised. But anyway, you can tell that it's a lot of elevation from here to the bottom, and it's really hard to get a normal bipod set up to where you can actually shoot both directions. So I always set up to where I can comfortably shoot to the top. Garrett likes to shoot at the bottom and set up for the bottom, but I much prefer setting up to shoot at the top, and I'll show you why in just a second. So obviously the ground in front of me is downhill, and this really isn't even that steep, but it's further downhill. So the further out my gun is and my bipod is, the lower it's going to be. So this isn't even long enough to shoot to the top, so I'm going to have to go a little higher. So I'll extend these out, and now I can comfortably look in this gun and set up and shoot to the top. Now when I try to go to the bottom, I can't quite do it because it's set up too high. So what I do to be able to shoot to the bottom is I will either kick one of these legs out like that, and then I can shoot to the bottom, or I will pick it up and just lean downhill. Because when I lean downhill, one, I'm leaning into the gun a little bit tighter, and two, as I move forward, the bipod drops down because of the hill, and now I can easily shoot all the way to the bottom of this thing. I can't quite get to the top comfortably. I kind of can, but not comfortably. Then if I need to shoot to the top, all I got to do is come back here, back up the hill just a little bit. So just being able to move your bipod downhill just a little bit makes it way easier to shoot across. And that I'm aware of, there's not a bipod on the market that's this long fully extended, and this isn't even fully extended. Most of those won't allow you to shoot across to the top. You're going to have to do something weird, like lean back like this which obviously you can still do. But even then, that's not a comfortable shooting position, and you want to be in a comfortable shooting position. Same thing, if I need to shoot hard right, obviously offside, and I can shoot hard right now. So yeah, that's the Swagger Bipod kind of in a nutshell. The two biggest reasons we like this is the length. Length is key on these things to be able to shoot in any situation with coyotes. The next factor is obviously the mobility of the legs. Realistically, you know, some guys really like shooting a very rigid bipod, but for me personally, the only thing I need my bipod to do is to keep my gun from going up and down. The rest of it, I like having the movement for shooting coyotes. If I'm shooting long range, then maybe I would want something a lot more rigid, but I'm not. I'm shooting max like 400 yards. I really need that movement to be able to swing all the way over here and shoot, and swing all the way over here. Let's say I didn't want to move my bipod. I can still move clear over here, and I'm almost 180 degrees, or 90 degrees, sorry. I can move 180 degrees both directions, but I'm almost 90 degrees from the way I set up. So there's just so much movement built into these that it's perfect for the situations that we're in out coyote hunting. Another question a lot of guys have is, can you shoot prone with them? Because they're pretty high on the shortest length for prone. Yes, you can shoot prone. What you do, you pull those out and you can kick them out, and now you can shoot prone. Let's see if I can get down here in this rocks and show you guys. Same thing even on a steep hillside. Let's say I want to shoot prone on this really steep, awkward hillside. Just kick the leg out, and now I can shoot prone. They will literally do everything you want to do. Check them out. There's links in the description below for these also. And don't forget to check out all the promo codes. We've got all those listed in the description below right at the top also. Thanks, guys.
Okay, I just figured I'd talk about the Swagger Bipod. I just switched it a few weeks ago. I've been shooting off a stick for years. It's super solid, well built. Only weighs about a pound and a half, so it's super light. And just the flexibility of it is why I really like it. So setting up, say you're sitting at a wash and you're getting set up on the hillside across from you, dog comes down the wash, all you have to do, kick the sticks out a little bit and just pull back with it.
Well, as you can see right here, Hunter shoots down to the bottom of a hillside like that, a little bit different than I do. But that's the best part about these bipods is whatever your shooting style is and how you set up for coyotes, you can achieve it with these bipods.
You can go, I mean, look at that. Super flexible. I mean, setting it up in rough country, it's easy to do. It goes high enough. I've never had a problem where I haven't had room to set up. Nice to shoot off of. Just a super well-built bipod. Another reason why these are nice compared to a stick is it's easier to move. You don't have to grab the stick, set it up. So, yeah. If you have any other questions about the Swagger Bipod, just leave a comment below on this video. And yeah, we'll be happy to answer any questions you got.